Hey guys, good morning. Brent Abel here. Good Saturday morning. Where are we? 7:25 out here on the West Coast. Another episode of 7 Around 7. We're in for some heat. So if you're playing the Wilson World Tennis Classic this week, hydrate. Like starting 5 days ago, because I think we're getting up close to 100 today and 102 forecasted for tomorrow. And the rest of the week is high 90s. So be prepared. Look, guys, what I got for you today is I want to talk to you about the approach shot mindset. And we're going to talk more about it for singles. So look, when I first went to Tom Stowe, gosh, back in the day, that was early 80s, like 1980, literally 80, 81. And one of the first things we worked on was the forehand approach. And the whole mindset was that you're going to allow the ball to get to a certain spot, right? To try to get some good geometry, which was try to allow that short ball that you're going to approach on to get some height and take it at the top of the bounce. Right now, look, if the thing's just going to bounce like a rubber ball, like a super ball, then maybe that's different. But all things being equal, try to create some good geometry by not rushing it too early or not getting it too late to where now it starts to either be, below the top of the net because you're taking it a little bit too soon or a little bit too late. Allow it to get to the top of the bounce so that you've got good geometry over the top of the net, meaning you can hit a little bit flatter, right? You don't need to go with so much top on it, which is from inside that baseline, it gets tougher, right? It gets tougher in terms of having to get the ball up and down. And we see the pros do it and where they can actually get the ball up and down and then still have some penetration through the bounce over there. But for the rest of us, typically what happens is trying to get the ball up and down. First of all, ball doesn't go in the court, but if it does, it just kind of sits up. So first thing is to make sure that you allow the ball to get to that geometric spot where it's above the top of the net, and then you can play a little bit flatter. Reason we want to play it flatter is it moves through the bounce a little bit quicker. Now, look, I think too often what happens here in the mindset is a lot of players do not want this approach shot to have any chance of coming back. And so as Jeff loves to say that the approach shot, Jacklitz loves to say, the approach shot should never be a failed winner opportunity, meaning that you're overcooking it. You're going for too much, right? You're not being consistent enough in terms of allowing that player to touch it. And so here's what Mr. Stowe did with us in terms of the mindset is basically he said the approach shot is a setup for the next shot. We don't know exactly what the next shot's going to be, but it's a setup for the next shot. And once you get into that mindset that it's okay if you do not hit a winner, it's okay if that opponent touches the ball over there. It's okay if they go for a pass. It's okay if they go for a lob, right? It's okay if they try to smooth it down low underneath you. It's okay because the approach, and this is looking at the big picture, right? Over the course of a 90-minute match, and you do this over and over and over and over again, if you start to add up the numbers, they're going to be well in your favor in terms of thinking this way about the approach shot. It's nothing more than a setup for the next shot. Now, a lot of players get freaked out with going, well, man, I don't want to hit a volley. I don't want to have to hit an overhead. I don't want to have to stay in the point. Okay, well, then maybe what you need to do is make sure that you're out on the practice court often enough to where you start to desensitize yourself to the fact that is it a possibility the guy over there off of your approach could hit a winner? Of course. They're going to hit some winners, some intentional, some unintentional. I mean, let's be honest. How many times have we set up to go cross court for a passing shot? We're a hair late and we scream it up the line, right? Lots. If you're being honest about it. So it's going to happen. And if that's the thing that stops you with the mindset from thinking that this is just a setup for the next shot, then you're forever going to be stuck in the baseline, and you're not going to be able to take advantage of a lot of short balls because, oh God, here she goes. She said she wouldn't be baking this time of the morning, but she is. It's okay. Anyway, so look, get out there and work on this stuff. Get out there and practice and start to desensitize yourself that, look, when you play over and over and over again and you force that opponent to have to go for a thread the needle pass, you're going to find that lots of balls come back that, boom, the court's just wide open. Do you need to do anything fancy with that volley the next shot? No. And a lot of players think we do. God, I better hit this thing so there's no way it can come back, the volley, and you chunk it. You got the whole court wide open. Wait for the ball to get to you. See the ball clearly. Don't peek out into the open space over there too early. Don't peek visually too early. See the ball to your strings and artificially keep your eyes there. And don't see the first part of the volley. How about that? Don't even see the ball go over there. Feel where it is and know that you've watched the ball all the way in. And that if you just make it, if you put it back in play, they're not going to get to it. So let's get out of the notion that on the approach shot, we really got to do some major damage, which means got to hit an outright winner, got to make sure it doesn't come back, because that is a recipe for just making a lot of frustrating, I'm going to call it an unforced error, right? So hope this has helped. We're going to keep this to 7 minutes today. How about that, guys? Yeah. Look, I want to hear from you today. What's on your mind about approach shots? What are you struggling with? What is still not working for you? Whether it's forehand, whether it's backhand, are you thinking you can make it, but tactically you're not sure where to go? Should you go up the line? Should you go cross court? Hey, why not go right through the middle? So what's on your mind with approach shots, forehand or backhand, flat, top, slice, whatever? And let me know down below in the comments area. It could be a question, could be a statement, whatever it is. Would love to read it and respond. If you want to keep it private, just go ahead and direct message me at Facebook, or you can shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. All right, guys, it's time to get out there this weekend. Let's go after it on the court, right? Let's be smart. Let's hit some really good approach shots that the mindset is this is just a setup for the next shot. What does that mean? I mean, I see way too often where approach shots, the mindset is I'm going to get to the ball, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to ding this thing. It's not coming back. And yet that opponent over there is, even though you've hit the thing clean as a whistle, because you're stuck behind the service line when they get to it, now the whole court's wide open for them. Right? So you've always got to assume that opponent's going to be able to make a play on it. Even if you've got a wide open approach, you can't stop them from guessing where you're going to play your approach. You can't stop them from anticipating where you're going to play the approach. So there is footwork through the approach shot to allow yourself to get to the next best court position as you play your approach. Am I saying that you should go sprinting through it? I'm not. But I am saying you need to get up to that thing early. You need to gather yourself, get your stuff on balance with good posture, take it at the top of the bounce, play it semi-flat to wherever you want to go, and have a little footwork going through it as you do that so that you move yourself to the next best court position based on where you've played your approach shot. And challenge that guy or that gal over there to have to pass you, to have to thread the needle up the line. You know what? You can have a foot over here. You can have a foot cross court. If you want to go for the topper lob, I'll give you that foot over the top of me. But you're going to have to do this a lot. And what you're going to find is, like I said earlier, yes, they are going to pass you. But if you keep doing it, and that was one of the great messages I got from Mr. Stowe as we worked on the forehand approach, is he kept reminding me, he's going, even the great players eventually become human if you continue to apply this approach shot pressure on them throughout the match, right? Could be serve and volley, could be a return. You get a short ball, you play an approach, but you just keep coming in and you get inside their mind that, all right, you passed me once, but you're going to have to do that 15, 20 times today if you want to win the match. He never said this, but to me, the message I got is any player on any given day has got a limited amount of passing shots in their tennis bag on that day when they come out. And I've always felt, at least when I was serving and volleying a lot, my job and approaching a lot, my job was to empty that bag of that finite number of passing shots and empty the bag as soon as I could, right? I mean, I remember lots of matches where I would get past a lot in the first few games, but I kept coming and coming and coming. And the next thing you knew is, man, the tables turned, right? As Mr. Stowe said, they became human. They started missing, or they started giving me balls, easy balls to just bunt to the open court. So there you have it. All right, guys, it is time. Get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, I'll see you again next time.